When you think of John Cena, you probably think of the hustle, the loyalty, and the respect, the man who carried WWE on his shoulders for more than a decade. You think of the championship wins, the electrifying entrances, and of course, the catchphrase, "You can't see me!" But outside the ring, Cena's personal life has been just as headline-making as his career. Behind the tough exterior and the spotlight of fame lies a story filled with love, heartbreak, speculation, and controversy. From a high school sweetheart who became his first wife, to a fairy tale engagement that played out on live television, to a quiet second marriage away from the cameras, John Cena's journey through relationships has been anything but ordinary. At the same time, whispers and rumors have followed him. Alleged flings with fellow wrestlers, locker room gossip turned tabloid fodder, and speculation that blurred the line between reality and WWE storytelling. Some of it confirmed, some of it denied, and much of it left to the imagination of fans. In this video, we're pulling back the curtain on Cena's personal life, separating the fact from the fiction. We'll walk through the relationships that shaped him, the engagement that defined an era, and the rumors that refused to die. This is the untold story of John Cena's love life, the marriages, the romances, the controversies, and the truth behind the headlines. First on the list is Lisa Marie Varon, a name fans know well as Victoria in WWE and later as Tara in TNA. The story takes us back to the early 2000s. John Cena had just signed with WWE and was reporting to their developmental territory at the time, Ohio Valley Wrestling, better known as OVW. It was here, in Louisville, Kentucky, that Cena and Victoria's paths first crossed. At that point in her life, Lisa Marie Varon was already established as a competitor. Outside the ring, however, her marriage to Lee Varon was going through a difficult phase. Though technically still married, the two were separated, and she has admitted that their relationship was not in the best place. In 2012, years after those early days, fellow wrestler Kenny Dykstra made headlines when he claimed that Victoria had been John Cena's so-called road girlfriend, a term often used in the business to suggest a secret or ongoing affair with someone while traveling on the road. But Victoria herself quickly responded to set the record straight. She acknowledged that yes, she and Cena did date, but only briefly, back in 2002. By her account, it was during her separation, when her marriage was on pause, and Cena himself was single. They decided to give the relationship a try. However, it only lasted about a month. She was clear in saying it was never the kind of hidden, prolonged situation some had speculated about. She also made it clear that she wasn't the only one who dated outside the marriage during that separation. Her husband too, had dated a couple of girls at that time. After that short-lived romance, Victoria eventually reconciled with her husband. Their marriage continued for more than 2 decades before officially ending in divorce in 2015. Since then, she has moved forward in her personal life, and today she is in a new relationship with David Lubick. As for Cena, the brief chapter with Victoria became just one part of his early journey in WWE, during a time when he was still finding his footing before superstardom. However, by 2007, Cena had cemented himself as the face of WWE, and this time around he dated one of the most popular women on the roster, at the height of her career. And her name was Mickie James. On screen, they were occasionally paired together, with hints of flirtation and a short-lived romance angle on Raw. For many, that storyline was strange. It didn't quite feel natural, and it was dropped just as quickly as it began. But years later, Mickie James herself would admit, there was a reason it happened. She confirmed that she and Cena were dating in real life, and WWE, as it often does, decided to weave that reality into their programming. But what seemed like innocent chemistry was anything but simple behind the curtain. At the time, Mickie was engaged to fellow WWE star Kenny Dykstra, but many believe that Mickie saw Cena as a more appealing partner due to his star status, whereas her fiancé was struggling in the mid-card with no clear direction in the company. Dykstra has claimed that he caught Mickie searching John Cena and Mickie dating on Google. When he confronted her, Mickie broke down, confessed, and admitted to the affair. Not long after, Kenny was quietly moved to SmackDown, far away from Cena and Mickie's orbit on Raw. His career quickly stalled, and within a short time, he was released from WWE altogether. He would later insist that Cena's influence had played a direct role in his downfall. For Mickie, the early days of her relationship with Cena seemed brighter. During this period, she won the Women's Championship and remained a featured name on television. But the tide would soon turn. By 2009, Cena had moved on, and Mickie was left on her own. According to reports, she struggled with the breakup and was making scenes backstage. Eventually, Vince McMahon made the decision to send her to SmackDown, as a favor to Cena. And not long after, she found herself in one of the most humiliating storylines WWE had ever produced. The Piggy James storyline, where for months, Mickie was mocked by Michelle McCool and Layla, who ridiculed her by calling her fat and a pig. Michelle McCool herself has since admitted she hated every moment of it, apologizing to Mickie backstage every week while the angle ran. Mickie has described it as one of the hardest periods of her career. By 2010, just a year and a half after her on-screen pairing with Cena, Mickie James was released from WWE. Officially, the company said it was a creative decision, but among fans, the belief has always been that her fall from grace was tied directly to her complicated relationship with Cena. After his complicated chapter with Mickie James came to an end, John Cena didn't stay single for long. This time, he returned to someone from his past, his high school sweetheart, Elizabeth Huberdeau. In 2009, while promoting his movie 12 Rounds, Cena surprised everyone when he casually revealed he was getting married. And on July 11th of that same year, he and Elizabeth tied the knot in a private ceremony. For many fans, it felt like a storybook ending, the boy who became a superstar finally marrying the girl who had been with him long before the fame. At first, everything appeared picture perfect. Cena was now at the absolute peak of his WWE career, carrying the company on his shoulders, and Elizabeth was there by his side. But as his fame continued to rise, the cracks in their marriage slowly began to show. The constant travel, the grueling schedule, and the spotlight that came with being WWE's top star began to create distance between them. Unlike many of Cena's colleagues, Elizabeth wasn't part of the wrestling world. She wasn't on the road, she wasn't backstage, and that separation grew larger with time. By 2012, just 3 years into their marriage, things reached a breaking point. Weeks before WrestleMania 28, Cena quietly filed for divorce, a move that reportedly blindsided Elizabeth and shocked fans who had believed their high school romance was unshakable. What followed was even more dramatic. Cena pointed to the strain of an over-budget home renovation as the primary reason for the split. In fact, documents later revealed that a contractor had filed a lien against their home for $110,000 in unpaid bills, and in 2010 another contractor even sued Cena for $15,000 over injuries allegedly caused by faulty scaffolding during the project. Elizabeth's side, however, painted a different picture. Her legal team alleged that Cena had been unfaithful during their marriage and even sought to challenge the prenuptial agreement. On top of that, there was another sticking point: children. Cena had made it clear he didn't want kids, believing his lifestyle and constant travel wouldn't allow him to be the kind of father he wanted to be. For Elizabeth, that was something she couldn't reconcile. After months of legal back and forth and plenty of speculation in the media, the two finally reached a private settlement. On July 18, 2012, their marriage officially came to an end. Since then, Elizabeth Huberdeau has stepped away from the spotlight, living a private life and building a career in real estate. Cena, meanwhile, moved on to other women. After his marriage with Elizabeth crumbled in 2012, rumors quickly swirled around the WWE locker room about who he was moving on with. And one name that kept coming up was Barbie Blank. The WWE universe knows her better as Kelly Kelly. Kelly had been one of WWE's most recognizable female wrestler of the late 2000s. She debuted in 2006, and by 2011 she had become Divas Champion, arguably the peak of her career. But behind the glamour of the ring, whispers began to circulate that she had grown close to Cena. According to many reports, the timeline of their fling lines up with early 2012, right around the same period Cena was separating from his wife Elizabeth. Sources in the locker room claimed Cena and Kelly were spotted spending time together outside of shows, and some even spoke of a passionate backstage kiss that fueled the speculation even further. However, the romance between John Cena and Kelly Kelly looks less like a lasting relationship and more like a short-lived fling. And neither Cena nor Kelly has ever confirmed they were together, and over the years both have stayed silent whenever the topic comes up. However, when John Cena was in a relationship with Kelly Kelly, another story was quietly unfolding behind the scenes, one that involved a young, rising star named AJ Lee. AJ was still new to WWE but was already capturing fans' attention with her quirky personality, unique promos, and undeniable charisma. And while she was building her reputation in the ring, Cena reportedly had his eyes on her. In her autobiography, AJ revealed that she had almost gotten involved with another WWE superstar. She described how he pursued her aggressively, and how at first she enjoyed the attention. But then she discovered the truth: he was already secretly involved with another woman in the company. To many fans and insiders, the story pointed directly at Cena. In this version, AJ Lee was the one being courted, John Cena was the man pursuing her, and Kelly was the other woman already in the picture. AJ admitted she was worried about the consequences of rejecting him. Cena was the face of WWE, with far more influence than she had as a newcomer. She feared that pushing him away might jeopardize her career. But when she finally did tell him to back off, she said he took it respectfully and moved on. But soon after, WWE booked an on-screen romance angle between Cena and AJ. The two shared multiple kisses on Raw, and their chemistry became a hot talking point for the WWE Universe. Vicky Guerrero even played into it, accusing them of having an affair, and presenting evidence of hotel encounters and secret dates. In the end, whatever existed between Cena and AJ was brief. AJ moved on to her legendary run as Divas Champion and ended up marrying CM Punk. Cena, on the other hand, finally got into a more serious relationship with Nikki Bella. What started as quiet rumors soon became undeniable, and before long, the two were one of wrestling's most talked about couples, both on and off screen. Their romance officially kicked off in 2012, and fans got a front row seat to it all thanks to Total Divas. Cena and Nikki's chemistry wasn't just for the cameras. Behind the scenes, their bond was growing stronger. Cena even introduced Nikki to his family by 2013, a major step that showed this relationship was different from the whispers and flings of the past. As the years went on, the couple became inseparable on reality TV. Fans watched their ups and downs on Total Bellas, where the world saw a more personal side of John Cena, a man struggling between his dedication to his career and the expectations of love. Then came WrestleMania 33 in 2017. After teaming up with Nikki Bella for a victory, Cena dropped to one knee in the middle of the ring and proposed in front of 75,000 fans. It was the fairy tale moment fans never expected, cementing them as WWE's ultimate power couple. But behind the cameras, cracks were starting to appear. Nikki dreamed of becoming a mother, while Cena wasn't ready to take that step, as he believed that parenthood demands a level of commitment and attention that he could not provide, given his career and personal aspirations. This difference in vision for the future would quietly haunt their relationship, and in April 2018, just weeks before their planned wedding, Nikki called off the engagement. The breakup was public and devastating. In an emotional interview on the Today Show, John Cena revealed his heartbreak. He stated that he had changed his mind and was willing to reverse his vasectomy to have children with Nikki. He said, "I still love Nicole, I still want to marry Nicole, I still want to have a family with Nicole." In a stunning reversal, the man who had staunchly refused fatherhood now publicly declared his willingness to change everything for her. But the emotional toll had already taken its toll on Nikki. She later reflected that she decided to walk away because it didn't feel right, and she knew it was right to leave, despite how much she loved him. The brief attempt at reconciliation failed, and by July 2018, the separation was final. For 6 years, Cena and Nikki had been the poster couple of WWE, but in the end, their love story came down to one simple truth: they wanted different things. After years of being in the spotlight for his highly publicized relationship with Nikki Bella, and the heartbreak that followed, John Cena wasn't exactly looking for love. But sometimes, love finds you in the most unexpected places. It was early 2019 in Vancouver. Cena was in town filming, playing with fire, and he had no plans of going out. But a friend convinced him to watch the Super Bowl at a local restaurant. As fate would have it, that decision changed the course of his life. In walked a group of friends, and among them was a woman who immediately caught Cena's attention, Shay. Unlike the women he had been connected to in the wrestling world, Shay was completely outside the WWE bubble. A Canadian engineer and product manager, independent, confident, and driven in her own career. Cena later admitted he couldn't take his eyes off her. But there was one problem: he didn't know how to approach her. Then, destiny intervened. One of Shay's friends came over and asked Cena for a picture. He agreed, but with one condition: only if I can get a picture with her too. That moment broke the ice. Shay came over, they posed for a photo, and that photograph, the very first snapshot of their story, still hangs in their home today. He asked Shay for her number when the night was over. He didn't wait, and texted her on the walk home: "It was so nice to meet you, you're beautiful. I'd like to get to know you more. If you have any free time coming up, I'll make time for you." She said yes. They had their first date the following weekend. What started as a simple exchange quickly blossomed into something deeper. Cena and Shay began dating quietly while he continued filming in Vancouver, often spotted together strolling through the city. Unlike his past relationships, this romance was private, grounded, and free of the chaos of wrestling politics. Their bond grew stronger with time, built not on fame but on mutual respect and shared values. Despite their 12-year age gap, both saw life the same way, neither felt pressured to start a family, and both were focused on enjoying life and supporting each other's ambitions. By late 2019, they made their red carpet debut at the premiere of Playing with Fire. The world got its first real glimpse of Cena's new chapter, and fans noticed how genuinely happy he looked. Then, in October 2020, amid the quiet of the pandemic, John Cena and Shay tied the knot in a private ceremony in Tampa, Florida. No cameras, no grand spectacle, just love. Today, Shay remains mostly out of the public eye, but whenever she does appear with Cena, their connection is undeniable. For a man who had struggled with commitment and family expectations in the past, has finally found a partner whose vision of life aligned perfectly with his own. If you enjoyed this deep dive into John Cena's love life and want more wrestling stories, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an upload. Because trust me, we've got plenty more untold wrestling stories coming your way.